Welcome back to S&S Kesana apho sitla ngeendaba zabantu singabuzwanga ulapha nje uthandazana naqala. If you're new to the channel, please do not forget to like, share and subscribe, guys. So, Chief of Staff in the Minister of Police, Mr. C Nkabinde, ubuyele kwi-Ad Hoc Committee. Uba akaphinde ayocinga ba uzawuphendula njani because ekugqibeleni funeka ephendulile. So ubuya kune-changes ezintsha okanye amendments ezintsha to his statement. Guys, I never saw ubaba ongenandlela yokukhuluma like this man. But yeah, I've got a clip here. Let's just listen to this clip and just meet on the comment section while we're discussing a future yamapolisa in South Africa as a whole. Because what is going on, guys? Why are we having abantu abanjena, people who say, I mean, like, we know, even if you don't have your gadgets, if you can log in using your login details in a different computer, most of the information ihlala into your, and that's why you drive or you server of your that you can always get information etile xa unologa in. Okanye I don't know, maybe it was only saved kulo computer is specific, could be the work computer. So now really for real you can't get information okanye you cannot get as documents and as data thetha ngazo. Guys, I cannot believe about that unjena, and I'm still watching, I'm still listening. I feel bana disrespectful akanandlela yokuthetha, but let's just watch this and then wow, come to think about, I wonder abantwana babo when they watch these things, how do they feel? Okanye they know it's how we rock at home. Amanga the lies ubuxoki, it's indlela esiphila ngayo apha ekhaya. Wow, yeah, ne? South Africa.
In other words, you are not amending the original statement, because a statement that has been made under oath cannot be amended. It can only be supplemented. For instance, if you did not mention the address wherein you stay in an original affidavit, you can make a request that, may I draft a supplementary affidavit which will add the address. You are making an addition. You are addressing shortfalls. So when we read and dissect this supplementary affidavit, it starts from, if I have the correct one, it starts from the first, from paragraph 1 until paragraph 78. So our understanding, Chair, was that a supplementary affidavit would actually come with maybe new aspects which have not been addressed in an original affidavit, to say, I forgot to mention that on this day this is what happened. I forgot to mention just those areas. Now, to us, this is a new statement. And if we can get some clarification on that, Chair, but obviously our firm view is that the work of the committee must not be derailed. We desire to move our work expeditiously, but we need that clarification from the S. What happened, SC? Is this a new statement? And if it's a new statement, how many amendments have been made? Where are those amendments only related to the areas or to the gray areas that were identified previously by this committee, or the witness went further by making further amendments? But if he added some information, there is no crisis which has not been addressed in the original statement. There is no crisis. A crisis can only arise in the event where the witness has chosen to amend some averments or some remarks that he made in the previous statement. So we need that clarity, Chair. Thank you very much. Before we suggest whether we can move on or we can stop the 2 days proceedings.
Okay, let's see.
Thank you, Honourable Chair. Just in response to Honourable Nombalo, this is not a new statement. The original statement that served before the Honourable Committee on the last occasion, that still stands. In the supplementary statement today, Mr. Nkabinde clarifies, and I want to refer to his statement. He says at paragraph 3, the supplementary statement is deposed to in amplification of my main statement dated 10 November 2025, filed with the committee. I further submit, that's in paragraph 4, that this statement is intended to clarify the dates on which the committee raised issues and required additional information when I appeared before it on the 13th of November. As will be gleaned from the supplementary statement, I still do not have access to my devices that were taken during the recent search and seizure at my house on the 10th of October 2025. I have, however, had to make alternative arrangements, as I will explain below, to verify some of the dates. Any dates not specifically corrected herein should be noted as remaining unchanged from the main statement. At paragraph 5, in this supplementary statement, I do not repeat the facts stated in my main statement and ask that they be read together as they relate to the same issues and facts, and the clarification and or rectifications be noted accordingly. The purpose of this statement is also to ensure that the committee is fully appraised of the challenges encountered, including delays, limited access to essential devices, and insufficient time afforded to prepare a proper response. Then on page 13 of the supplementary affidavit, there's a heading, my efforts to confirm the precise dates and information for the committee, and that is then explained. There are two main aspects that I will refer Mr. Nkabinde to, and they relate to the dates issue, recording his communication with Mr. Makotsi, and the other aspect is in relation to the phone call from General Mkhwanazi.
Thank you. I think that clarifies the matters, Honorable Nombalo.
Yeah, no, Chair. We hear the explanation. However, Chair, our concern has not been allayed. To this point, because, Chair, our understanding is that in a supplementary statement, you don't make repetition of what is contained in an original statement. What was supposed to happen here, Chair, is that this supplementary statement was supposed to acknowledge the content contained in the original statement, not to repeat it. The original statement, not to repeat it word by word. And then they just write a topic of issues that they supplement, facts that they supplement. It was not supposed to be this long, Chair. We're not supposed to have an introduction. We're not supposed to have a background of the deponent, because that has already been clarified in an original statement. So it creates a lot of confusion because it gives an impression that this is a statement that is amending the original statement. Because if it is not amending the original statement, it should not repeat the same facts that have been, or the same averments that have been addressed under this original statement. It should only deal with a new supplemented information and say we note supplemented information and say we note paragraph 1 of the original statement, we note paragraph 2, we note paragraph 3, and write a new heading, supplementary information, and you supplement. It was supposed to be only 2 pages, Chairperson, but now it's a repetition of this statement, and it creates a lot of confusion.
Yeah, no, I hear the point that you are saying. If you look at number 5, it says in this supplementary statement, I do not repeat the facts stated in my main statement and ask that they be read together as they relate to the same issues and facts, and the clarification and rectifications to be noted accordingly. What the legal team might have done was to bring the contents of the earlier statement after this preface, so that in the event we want to make reference, you don't have to be having two documents in front of you, but the contents of the previous statement have not been changed. That is why it is written there at number 5, the way you are saying. I agree with you that in terms of the structure, you would have wanted maybe 1 or 2 pages. But the other, am I correct, SC, that the contents of the previous statement have been included in this supplementary statement?
Indeed, Honourable Chair,
Yes.
it's confirmed by Mr. Nkabinde. And in the ordinary course, if there's any material differences that constitute contradictions in the supplementary, and it contradicts what he says in the main, then clearly he will have to take responsibility for that, and any adverse finding that is made, will be made. As evidence leaders, I think I've explained it a few times. We interact, we consult, we do a draft, we send it to the witness concerned. The witness concerned, almost in all our cases now, have their lawyers. They look at it. Sometimes they make minor amendments. Other times they redraft the statement completely and send us their statement. And it is not for us as evidence leaders to tear it up, throw it in the bin and say, no, we don't accept what you say in your statement. Provided they do so under oath and they take responsibility for it. Our job is to lead them according to their statement, and for the rest, the honourable members then debated with them and asked them questions.
Chair, no, I think the SC is not helping us at all. If anything, he is just exacerbating our confusion. Because one, it's your responsibility, SC, to guide the witness on legal technicalities. The witness has a responsibility to produce content of his statement, but to guide him on the legal technicalities is your responsibility. So you can't run away from that. Secondly, Chair, we still insist that this is not a supplementary affidavit. This is a new statement. And this statement amends this statement. Because if you say on paragraph 5, Chairperson, of the supplementary affidavit, you are not going to repeat issues which have been addressed in the original statement, but on the following paragraphs, you repeat them. Issues which have been addressed on the previous statement. That means, and when you repeat them, that means you are amending. And we are saying, Chair, by law, that is not allowed. You can't amend a statement that has been sworn. I mean, a statement that has been made under oath. It's illegally wrong, Chairperson. And I'm so disappointed that the SC does not address that, is shifting the blame to the witness as if he can take anything that comes from a witness, even a love letter, which has not been made under oath. It's his responsibility. We must agree on that. So, Chair, but like we said, that our intention here is not to delay. Maybe we can note all these things for deliberations, because we really want to proceed. We have an interest of questioning this witness, but these observations that we have made here are worrisome, and what exacerbates our concern is how the SC is reacting to our concerns. Is trying to belittle them and is being dismissive, whereas he has a responsibility to guide witnesses on legal technicalities.
Okay. Is your hand up, Honorable Skosana? Okay.
Thank you, Chair. I'll summarize, Chair. You know, General Mkhwanazi has put cat among the pigeons. We cannot fail him here. And I'm disappointed as well, you know, that the witness, beside their SC, is got a legal team. And they know the law. They know exactly what we are talking about. What my colleague has spoken about here, if you look at the original submission and you look at the supplementary, completely, it was not, it was only about the dates which the witness told us here, that he told the legal team, meaning our legal team, that he was not sure because of the gadgets. But when you look at the document, this supplementary, it's replacing the original sworn affidavit. And it can't be right, Chair. But anyway, for the sake of progress, I'm not sure whether legally this thing is not going to have impact on us as a committee, but really it's disappointing and it's not a laughable issue. You know, we are dropping the ball, and we always mention this thing on the other committees, that some of our professionals are really failing us, and this is an egg on our face as well, because we are not here to have a gossip, you know. We are here to do our work, and we must represent our people to the fullest. We cannot be seen as, you know, that we are, like my colleague said, it's not a love letter. This is a serious document. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Cameron.
Thanks, Chair. I think we should just proceed. You know, the SC is not here to be a legal advisor to Mr. Nkabinde. He's got his own legal team. They need to do what they need to do. Let's move on. He can take responsibility for whatever he says. We're not there to do, I mean, if we have to go into legal advice for all of the witnesses, we'd be here until Easter of 2029. So let's move forward. Thanks, Chair.
Honorable Matthews.
Chair, we just want to make it note that we didn't raise this matter because we are trying to delay processes or we want the witness to go home today. It was to make a correction to that statement.
Yeah.
And the bigger point here is that we can sit through the whole day today, and when we do our findings and when we do our review, when we do our findings and we do our recommendations, we can be taken under review and our whole process of what we are doing. So we just want to make sure that we are doing the right thing. And we did the same thing when General Mkhwanazi was here and he came with the supplementary statement, and we had to go and say, just go and fix it and make it as a statement. So for the sake of expediency, it mustn't be at the sake of legal processes. And I agree that the senior counsel is trying to pass on blame. We do understand that the witness has his own legal team, but it's something very simple. Where you properly advised, can a witness come here and say, I thumb-sucked? He's not answering. He's saying legally. Can a witness come and say to us under oath, I thumb-sucked the statement, and the next minute we supplemented it? Yes or no? I don't understand how was the witness advised to do a supplementary statement and not submit a new statement. It's not even, most of that is just cut and paste and just redo it. This whole process of us spending 1 hour going back and forth is so unnecessary because it just needs to be fixed. How do we accept a supplementary statement? And the senior counsel is not telling us how he decided to put this witness down with a supplementary statement, because he could have came to us and say, the witness is not cooperating, he wants to give us a supplementary statement instead of a new statement. We are quite happy to proceed, but we don't want to proceed under conditions that we are going to be held accountable later. And perhaps the senior counsel must tell us that if we are taken, our report is taken under review, what recourse are we going to have? And how is he going to be held accountable for the advice that he's given us that we must accept and we must proceed with a supplementary statement? We want to proceed. Can we just go and fix that statement? I'm sure it won't take long, and remove that word supplementary and make it as a new statement to the committee. That's all. Thank you.
Honorable Sauls. Yeah, I will come to you, Chief Whip.
Chair, my understanding of the difference between what we're dealing with now and what we dealt with General Nkwanasi's statement is that he had a statement submitted to the Madlanga Commission, and then he had a statement to us. Then he phrased the statement to us as a supplementary statement to the statement that he made to the Madlanga Commission. And we had a problem with the fact that he calls the statement to us a supplement to that statement. We are looking for a main statement in total. So it was for that reason that they had to go back and then come back and we considered the entirety of what he submitted to Madlanga and to us as the main statement. The difference here is that the witness had to go back and clarify a section within his statement that he said was thumb-sucked because he didn't have access to his phones and other resources. The committee then allowed him to go back and clarify that. he comes back today and calls that parts that he has clarified a supplement to the main statement. It doesn't replace the main statement. Now, Chair, of course, I'm not an attorney, so I'm going to leave the judgment on the legal technicalities of the document to the SC. If the SC says it satisfies the legal technicalities, I've got to believe him. Where I make a contribution is on looking at what the witness says in the statement, and I want to read it. He's explicit in the designation of the statement. He says, he calls it supplementary witness statement of Cedric Nkabinde. That tells me he's telling us that's a supplement. He then also says that it must be read together as they relate on the same issues and facts. He then further says, in the supplementary statement, I do not repeat the facts stated in my main statement. He then says, where I have not corrected something, it remains as stated in my original statement. So my understanding is that these two statements now forms the main statement. Then on the issue of did Mr. Nkabinde have enough time? He did have enough time in context of the fact that as the committee, we don't have the luxury of time. So the witness had to consider it as a matter of urgency. When he left on Thursday, from that moment of leaving on Thursday, he had to start working on getting confirmation. So he had Thursday, then he had a full day on Friday. Then he had 48 hours, full working days, Monday and Tuesday. That is a lot of time. And then for police, I would think for information such as this, there should be access over the weekends. But that's debatable. But given that he had a full Friday, a full Monday and Tuesday to get clarification or confirmation, in my view, that's enough time. On the issue of Brigadier Kunene from the PKTT, who has not responded back to grant access to the witness to assist in verifying the statement, that is problematic. To date, you have Brigadier Kunene not having responded at all. The question is the PKTT interested in assisting this committee then to investigate properly the veracity of the allegations? So that is a big question. I conclude by saying, Chair, based on the above, we should proceed. Thank you.
Honorable James.
Thank you, Chair. It is worrying that a Chief of Staff cannot take responsibility for his actions. We are in this mess because he undermined this committee in the first place. If anything, he's had an advantage over all the other witnesses because he was given additional time, which he still today comes with a supplementary question, supplementary statement. We are still subjected to a thumb-sucked statement. For as long as we have this incorrect statement with incorrect dates, with thumb-sucked information in here, we are still subjected to it. I don't understand, in the supplementary statement, it says here, and this is where it confuses me, I do not repeat the facts stated in my main statement. Those aren't facts in the main statement. That is thumb-sucked information. So I would have expected that the supplementary statement today would have read statement, and we would have only had one statement before us. So the outcome of today's proceedings, he will have to bear the consequences of it. That is number one, but we cannot continue delaying. We need to move on for the sake of progress. And that's where I leave it. Thank you, Chair.
Chief Whip.
No, thanks, Chair. Good morning to colleagues and Mr. Nkabinde and his team, and of course our legal team. No, Chair, I think Honorable Souls has dealt with the first part of what I wanted to raise. The distinction between how we handled the statement of Lieutenant General Mkhwana's during his appearance to us and the one that is before us. So let me just emphasize one point in that regard, that in this case, we were given a statement ourselves, which was not coming from anywhere else except from the witness. And there were concerns about the accuracy of certain information, as a consequence of which we then agreed that the witness must be given more time to obtain that information. I think we've got to depart from the understanding that